And inshallah, this is going to be one of the most interesting discussion we're going to have with regards to the laws of Ghana and then Islam. As Muslims, how do we live in this country and then observe our own laws? Which of the laws are we supposed to really practice as Muslims? This and every Monday, 5:30 p.m., you catch me on NTV, where we'll be coming to you with a lot of discussions that pertains our law, and particularly with some of you who have issues in your matrimonial homes, in your business, in your interaction or relationship with people that you live with. These are some of the issues that we're going to really deliberate on. We have going to get people, resource persons who are capable, who have the capability to address your issues. So send your comments on Islam and the Law on Facebook. And any issues that you have, inshallah, will help discussion, help to explain and then address some of the issues. But in today's episode, we're going to have an interesting discussion with regards to the overview of the Islam and legal education. And my guest today is Mr. Abdullah Yakubu. You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How is it?
Alhamdulillah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. How's work?
It's fine. It's moving on well.
All right. So what can you tell us briefly with regards to this very important issue we're looking at?
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. We give thanks to Allah for giving us this day and for blessing us with this opportunity to let our brothers and sisters in the Ummah have the benefits of Islam and the law. In fact, it is one of the things that bothers the minds of the Muslim Ummah in this country, Ghana, where we live, which has a legal system that seems to be a bit different from the Islamic Sharia. So I'm very happy that this program has been put together, and I must thank the host and the organizers of the program. But first of all, I want viewers to understand that when we talk of Islamic law, it is a law for humanity. There's normally a question that is asked. When you have a machine that is created, you design a manual for that machine. Anybody who wants to use that machine, be it car, motorbike, or whatever, will have to read the owner's manual before he use it. Those who read the manual and then use the machine are able to get the best out of it. Those who want to use their minds are not able to get the best out of it. And it's normally a caution that is given to users of machines. Similarly, human beings didn't come into being by chance. We are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He has also given us a manual to use. And the manual for human beings is the scripture that has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has sent down a number of scriptures. The final of it is the Quran al-Karim, which has come to incorporate all the laws and all the customs that were given from the time of Adam and Eve, all through to David, to Noah, Moses, up to Jesus Christ, and to the final messenger, the Prophet Muhammad. It has condensed everything into there. So our belief is that God is the best giver of law, and He has given us Quran al-Karim as the constitution that we should follow. We happen to find ourselves in a country where we also have laws in this in Ghana. So when you look at the two, because we are human beings and we aspire to make our lives better by crafting laws for ourselves, some way, somehow, we are likely to get something closer to what our Maker has given to us. So you will find some aspects or provisions in the laws of Ghana that are very closer to Islam. Some will be exactly in line with Islam, and some may also differ. If you look at Islam, for instance, the Sharia, where we derive our laws from, we derive our laws from the Quran al-Karim as the number one. That's our constitution, followed by the Hadith, followed by the Sunnah of the Prophet. Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, mainly contained in the Hadith that has been narrated to us, and the Qiyas, analogy or reasoning or deductions from both the Quran and the Sunnah We also have ijma, which is the consensus of what Islamic scholars regarding intriguing topics in Islam. If we come to the Republic of Ghana, Article 11 of the Constitution gives us, talks about the sources of law in Ghana, what the laws of Ghana consist of. It clearly mentions the Constitution of Ghana, this Constitution, refers to the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. It talks about enactments made by parliaments, laws that are made by parliaments. It talks about rules, regulations, and orders made by persons or institutions under the authority of parliament. And it's under the authority of the Constitution. The Constitution has created a number of institutions, such as Shuraj, such as the judiciary. So their rulings and their orders become part of the laws of Ghana. We also have existing laws that existed in Ghana prior to coming into being of the 1992 Constitution. Those are still part of the laws of Ghana, in as far as they are not repealed. Then we also have the common law, which comprises of doctrines of equity as well as the customary laws in Ghana. So here, if you list the two like this, you won't find any degree of similarity between the two. But when you go deep down into the provisions of the Constitution, the enactments made by Parliament, as well as rulings that are given by courts and other institutions established by or under the authority of the Constitution, you will find the provisions, some of them being in line with Islam. Typical example is the issues bordering on Muslims is our marriage, how we are supposed to marry. As early as if you check, as early as I think Cap 1 to 7, even before we gain our independence, during those periods, we have the colonial administration of province, that Cap 1 to 7, which was passed to govern how we're going to do our marriages in this country. It was a law that is made, that law is still in force. And it is called the Muhammad, or marriage under the what? Mohammedans. That is the ordinance that we have.
But can you explain why Mohammedans?
And that's why we have this program.
Okay.
Because at that time you will find very many Muslims who says you shouldn't venture into the contemporary law, don't venture there. And it was left
that go strictly according to the
so what people heard about Islam is where they derive their title from. They think that when Jesus Christ came, excuse me, they said the followers of Jesus Christ was what? Christians. Almost all the religions you will find it. Judah, they will say what? Judaism. So when Islam also came with Prophet Muhammad, they say what? Muhammadanism. And Allah says what? No, inna dina indallahi Islam. And then we are Muslims, we are not what? Muhammadans. Unfortunately, those who were writing at that time referred to us as Muhammadans. Of course, we don't agree with that reference to us. However, that is what we have in the books now. And there is a bill before Parliament that is going to clarify all these issues. We're hoping that it will come into being. So you will find Cap 1 to 7 talking about marriage under the Islamic law, which makes provisions for you to marry more than one wife in Ghana. If you go to countries like Canada, it's an offense for you to marry more than one wife. But if you come to Ghana, for instance, you can marry more than one wife. And the law is a law that has been passed to give what legal effect to marriage under the Mohammedans. Of course, when we talk of the Islamic marriage, it is not the polygamy per se. It deals with the responsibilities that comes with marrying one, the legality of it, and the validity of those marriages, and how the marriage is going to be registered, and the procedure for licensing the marriage, the Islamic marriage priest. Very good. So sorry, there I've just been told the Mohammedans Madar is Cap 129. That's what we have there. And if you go to Surah Nisa, you also see where Allah talks about the marriage, how we should give the bride, how the bride price should be paid, how it should be determined, how we should who we should marry and who we should not also marry. It's been provided for in Islam. So unlike in the Quran, Allah gives us prohibitions, those that we cannot marry. Forbidden for you in marriage are, and then Allah mentions them for us in the Quran. You wouldn't find this in the Cap 1 to 9. But you will find it in the Quran. So the Quran gives a broader and more holistic, very good explanation of the marriage by a Muslim compared to what you will have in the Cap 1 to 9. But that doesn't prevent us from applying the Cap 1 to 9. You can choose to apply it and then go further beyond that law to apply what Islam says, because what Islam says has not been prohibited by any law in Ghana. We get it. Another area that also bothers people's mind is the divorce.
Yeah, very important.
I happen to have an instance where somebody has an Islamic marriage and the person has been sued in court, asking the court to divorce that marriage. And the person said, oh, we didn't conduct this marriage in court. So why
are we in court?
Are you now taking me to court for the court to divorce the marriage?
Yeah.
We had an Islamic marriage. These are some of the intriguing issues that bothers the minds of Muslims, and they need education on this.
And also, there are issues with regards to, yes, it has been done in the mosque, then witnessed by we have the wali and what have you, and the imam also, how they call it, bless it. But then some are having concerns as to whether if it's not registered, then it doesn't become a legal, how do you call it, marriage. Okay. I don't know what you can say with regards to that.
Okay, so that's why when we come to marriage in Islam, as well as marriage under the Ghanaian law, we'll delve deep into those areas. So we'll get the viewers to look after us in the subsequent discussion. We'll devote a whole topic to Islamic marriage, and then marriage under the ordinance, and how you are going to register your marriage. If you don't register your marriage, what are the legal effects of the marriage? So viewers should look up to that. Of course, one other area that Muslims worry about is the divorce. When we are divorcing, if some fear to go to court to register their marriages, because they say if I go to court and register the marriage and we are divorcing, the woman will take everything from me and I'll be left with nothing. So they don't even want to hear registration of their marriages, even under the Kaf 129, because of what they fear that when you register it, there's some kind of legality, you may be taken to court, as if the court itself is a place that is designed to hunt Muslims, which is not so. The court hasn't been designed for any set of religion, one set of religion, and then it will also disadvantage other people. Of course, in the Quran, we have Surah Al-Talaq that deals extensively with what? Divorce. So we'll look at the Talaq as well as what we have in the laws of Ghana about how you are going to divorce your wife. One other issue that the Ummah are also confronted with is inheritance. I am a Muslim, and should I write a will? Am I permitted as a Muslim to write a will? I've heard people who will say that no, in Islam you don't write a will because the Quran has already prescribed how the properties should be shared among the couple. So we should not have.
Allah has already shared it.
Allah has already shared it, and He knows us better.
Yes.
But I can tell you that Islam itself does not prohibit us from writing a will. Instead, there are restrictions on how wills are supposed to be written. Today, somebody.
There's how do you call it? An issue with regards to, similarly to this, where the Prophet ﷺ saying, never sleep a night without having a wasiyah.
Very good.
Something written that indicates that in case you are not back to life, at least what you have left can be dealt with. So I don't know why we are still
very good resisting that way. And because sometimes also when you mention wasiyah, a Muslim will understand and say, oh, it's okay, then we have it in Islam. But when you mention a will, because you've called it in Islam, it becomes a problem. Like I said, I was telling a friend, let's have Islamic banking and finance, and the friend was like, subhanallah, they are just using this, what is Islamic banking and finance? As if banking and finance is prohibited by Islam. Do you get it? But when I mention Mudaraba, he then comes and they say, oh, okay, fine, those things are there. So sometimes the name itself gives people some kind of impression that's no. So when it comes to wills, for instance, in Islam, I challenge somebody. The person told me that no, as for Islam, the way Ghana has wills that we are supposed to be, a Wills Act, we have the Wills Act there, we have the PNDC Law 111 that we are supposed to be applying. But the way Islam has done it, it is so rigid. And I said, no, you don't understand what Islam talks about. So I'll give you details of how Islam talks about it. Just a brief of it. The marriage, the will, and then how the willing should be done.
All right. Thanks so much, inshallah. If you just join us, this is Islam and the Law, a show that comes to you every Monday, 5:30 on NTV. My name is Abdul Fattah. Inshallah, we're going for a quick break. When you come back, the show continues.
رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن. Deep in those eyes, can't you see him in disguise, reaching out to the heart that's in you and in every tear that is where he is there. Every tear that is where he is there.
Guidance TV, the light in your life.
Al'umman Ghana, wannan tasha na Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwarku. Tasha ne da ke wasar da lamukan musulunci a cikin faɗin Ghana baki ɗaya. Shi yasa za ku iya turo tallace-tallacen hajojinku domin samun ingancin talla da sauki, sannan kuma za ku same shi a farashi mai rahusa. Shi yasa ku turo tallace-tallacen ku saboda taimakawa a musulunci. Za ku iya kira wannan lamba da ke kan talabijin. Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanka.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين
Al'umman Ghana, wannan tasha na Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanku. Tasha ne da ke wasar da lamukan musulunci a cikin faɗin Ghana baki ɗaya. Shi yasa za ku iya turo tallace-tallacen hajojinku domin samun ingancin talla da sauki, sannan kuma za ku same shi a farashi mai rahusa. Shi yasa ku turo tallace-tallacen ku saboda taimakawa a musulunci. Za ku iya kira wannan lamba da ke kan talabijin. Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanka. Al'umman Ghana, wannan tasha na Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwarku. Tasha ne da ke wasar da lamukan musulunci a cikin faɗin Ghana baki ɗaya. Shi yasa za ku iya turo tallace-tallacen hajojinku domin samun ingancin talla da sauki, sannan kuma za ku same shi a farashi mai rahusa. Shi yasa ku turo tallace-tallacen ku saboda taimakawa a musulunci. Za ku iya kira wannan lamba da ke kan talabijin. Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanka.
I'm Ibrahim Mohammed, CEO of Music Man. We are solution sellers in musical instruments and accessories. Anytime I close from work or I'm at home, I tune into Guidance TV.
قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن. رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن.
Alhamdulillah, welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the Islam and the Law show that comes to you every Monday on NTV. My name is Abdul Fattah Bawa Yusuf, and today we are looking at the overview of the Islam and then the Law, inshallah. My guest today is Mr. Abdullah Yakubu. Yes, earlier you were talking about with regards to the will.
Will in Islam. Okay, so the person made a remark that why is Islam so rigid like that concerning a will? Then I asked him, assuming that you have 5 children, you've given birth to 5 children, you have a wife, and you decide to have a side chick, and you decide to will all your properties to your side chick, leaving your wife and the children, perhaps because you are not in good terms with them or just because of something. Do you think that you are being fair to the children? Then he was like, no, if the children are stubborn. Then I told him about the other side of the children.
Yeah.
Where Allah had admonished us after worshipping Allah, oneness of Allah, and then worshipping Allah alone, we should be kind to our parents. And that kindness is not restricted to the religion of our parents. If my parents are pagans, it's still my duty to feed them and clothe them. Do you get it? That duty on me is what Allah has provided for me. And it doesn't also matter whether my parents took good care of me or not. It's just a duty that has been imposed on me by Allah. It is not my parents who are to give me the reward for the good I do to them. It is what? Allah. It is almost saying that the one who gives you the work gives you the reward. The one who employs you is the one who pays you. And not the one that you are working for. You are seated here. If I happen to do things that you don't like, of course, you are forced to take it because I'm not the one going to pay you. You're only serving the general public. Do you get it?
Yeah.
But you look up to the employer. It's Allah who has admonished us to do those good things. So I thought, do you think that is fair? Irrespective of who the person is, the person has that biological right to inherit part of your property. That is why Islam has placed restrictions on how you can distribute your property. So there are those who are not mentioned in terms of how the properties are going to be distributed. Yeah. For instance, you wouldn't find adopted children there. You wouldn't find Allah saying, okay, you give this one to your friend. But there are friends who might have helped you so much. So you are permitted to will some part of your property to your friend. And Allah gives a restriction on even the percentage that you can will out.
It shouldn't go as far as affecting those who are supposed to inherit.
Who are supposed to inherit biologically. So that you don't deny them their biological right. If we implement this law, there wouldn't have been the need for us to come with PNDC law 111, because that law came into being because we are abusing wives and then children when the...
I had a friend lawyer who recently we had an engagement with regards to accommodation, and when he was speaking, he told me, in fact, look at me, I lost my dad and my mom and I'm supposed to inherit them, but because of fitna, I decided to leave them. I'm now in a rented apartment. Fitna.
Yes.
To be just now, it becomes a problem. So he doesn't want to have any confrontation with the siblings and then the other beneficiaries of what the father has left. So he decided to be on his own and then leave them. How can we continue to have this?
In fact, that's why the PNDC law 111 is there to protect that person. And of course, the person could have explored the law to get what is due him. But it's not everything that is due you, and the law may be good for you. For instance, you can win the judgment and live in their midst and you may not have your peace.
Certainly.
So he decides to give away part of his right. But the admonition to us is that we should strive to implement the laws of Islam in our daily lives, in as far as that is not in conflict with the laws of Ghana. For instance, if they decide that they're going to share the properties, at least Islam does say you should deny anybody a share of the property. You get it? So if we had been true as Muslims, of course this guy wouldn't have suffered the fate that he is suffering. Another challenge that we are likely to face borders on the legal system. When you talk about Ghana, the laws of Ghana, and the laws Allah has given to us, people try to look at how do we determine what is just and what is right in the Ghanaian jurisprudence, our legal system, compared to what Islam also provides for us, especially given the fact that ours is more kind of adversarial system compared to Islam, which makes a balance between inquisitorial and this adversarial system. So people have that kind of challenge, and they will normally refer you that he is not part of us, he who does not rule in accordance with what Allah and His Messenger has given to us. But when we delve deep into what Allah and His Messenger has given to us, we will find a chunk of it also found in the laws of Ghana.
Certainly.
Okay. Then also, one part that we also borders ourselves is on zakat. In fact, I was very happy when I heard of the National Zakat Fund that has been created. The laws of Ghana has not prohibited anybody from instituting a fund towards helping humanity, towards serving the purpose for which zakat has been established, helping the poor and the needy in society. When we do that, we are helping towards socio-economic development of Ghana. And in the way we also helping the good people of the Republic of Ghana. So I'm very happy that that fund has been established because zakat is almost kind of what tax system where the rich what
and it's fundamental. It's one of the fundamental pillars of Islam.
Fundamental pillars of Islam. Very
It
good.
seems to not.
Yes. And it also let you understand that Islam in Ghana is not prohibited from practicing your Islam on the whole. In Ghana, apart from nobody prohibits you from professing your faith that there is none worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ is the messenger of God. There's nothing like that. As for the mosque, in fact, we even have a national mosque that has been built and nobody has prevented us. You go to several institutions, you will find mosque that has been established. Our fasting has also been permitted. Do you get it? It's the laws permit us to practice the pillar of Islam, which borders on fasting. When it comes to pilgrimage, we have the National Hajj Board, which has been funded by the state to facilitate Muslims practicing their religion. You get it? And the case that was brought to Supreme Court in respect of the cathedral case also made a case against the National Hajj Board. And the Supreme Court was clear and indicated in its ruling that when we say Ghana is a secular state, that secularity should be interpreted to mean religious pluralism. Do we get it? But not prohibiting the state from supporting religious activities. And so also in the grounds of that ruling that we had the cathedral being progressing and we have the National Hajj Board also being sustained. And the zakat that we just spoke about, which is also part of the pillars of Islam, it's also there. It has been, and very soon we may have laws in the country that will make clear provisions for how we can practice several aspects of our faith. We just talked about the Muslim marriage and divorce bill that is currently before Parliament to be passed. When it goes through, you can see it will now clarify some of the things that we had in the CAP 129.
But don't you think, just as we are having, or we seek to have clarification, or maybe have more conducive and more accepted law with regards to Muslims in this country, and then due to some of the shortcomings we have in the CAP 129, this current one, as you're saying, how are we engaging the public? Because the law is made for the public. How are we engaging the public for them to be able to have their buy-in in some of this? You know that some people start somewhere and then say that this is what is good for you.
And that is why I will personally encourage Muslims to embark on legal education. Because even when we go to Parliament and we have Muslims in Parliament who are supposed to pass this law, what is their level of knowledge about Ghana legal system as well as the Islamic Sharia? Do we get it? Do you need to have knowledge in these two areas so that you can help us to fine-tune this law? Do we get it? Then also, like you have indicated, Parliament is for everybody. That is the representatives of the people of Ghana. And I think the committee that is working on that should find a way of engaging. A lot of stakeholders has been engaged, the Muslim Forum, the Muslim Council, Office of the Chief Imam, a lot has been engaged. And nothing prevents you from submitting a memo to Parliament so that the committee working on it can also consider if you have it. The PDF is there on social media. People can download it and then also go through. If you have any issue of it, you can also submit a memo to Parliament so that your issue can be factored into this, so that we get the public to buy into that. One other areas of the Ghanaian law that people find comfortable. Islam encompasses every aspect of our life, including our economic life. And I was speaking about the banking and finance, which is part of, which Islam has made provisions for. A lot of these provisions you will not
people run away because of interest.
Yes, people run away because of interest. And when MTN introduced Momo and we're paying interest, MTN was compelled to introduce an option for you to opt out of the interest. Because some felt that I'm a Muslim, I don't take interest. And the question I ask is, when that interest, when you opt out of the interest and the interest is paid, who does it go to? I am not a scholar, I don't know. But if you ask me my opinion on that, I would have said, once you didn't subscribe to it and it's part of their policies, allow it to come, but do not consume it. You can give it out as charity, perhaps without even expecting any reward. But as a way of avoiding the sin, you would have helped a needy person. And I said, when you are eating food and a fly enters that food, You don't throw the food away, you remove the fly
And then
and throw it
continue.
away. So just allow it to come and then you can give it, because we have a lot of vulnerable people in the society who are begging and will need support. So just allow it to come, and when it comes in, you give it to somebody who is vulnerable. But Allah is the best of knowing. He knows best in this issue.
Inshallah. Yes, because of our time, when we brought this issue of Islamic banking, I was very, very happy, because we engage a couple of stakeholders, those who are really pushing for the Islamic banking, or they said ethical banking. They don't want to refer to it as Islamic banking because of as you indicated earlier. But the issue is it a name or the practice? Well, sometimes we advocate, yes, maybe the state allows us to do it. But as Muslims, are we really ready to go according to the ethical banking?
In fact, it is normally lack of ignorance about our own religion.
Okay.
That is what is affecting us. Because when you talk of the ethical banking or the Islamic banking model, it has a lot of provisions that will help Ghana. The IMF negotiations that we are doing, it's all about interest.
Yeah.
Even the debt exchange program says no zero coupon for the first year. This coupon, the coupons are what? Interest that is going to be charged on us. Assuming we have an Islamic, we call it sukuk in Islam, the Islamic bonds, sukuk that are issued by Islamic finance. And they don't issue that with an interest that is binding on you. They issue that one with the aim of what? Sharing the returns from that investment. So if you're coming to put up an infrastructure, what are the returns you're going to get out of that? Of course, you must pay the principal. The returns that is coming from the investment is what you're going to share between the Islamic bank and yourself. That is what is going to happen. So it is because we ourselves are ignorant of the what the Islamic banking system provides for. That is why you may find some level of resistance. But I can tell you that also conventional banks may not be that comfortable with the Islamic banking system, because they know that when it comes, it's likely to take over. But we can have a hybrid of the Islamic banking and the conventional banking system. Some countries have it. If you go to Nigeria, some conventional banks have added Islamic banking products. So when you come strictly, they have an IT system that is designed to handle that aspect of their banking, so they don't mix your funds with the conventional banking practice. All it will take is for us to read more about our religion, about the laws of Ghana, and about the contemporary economics as well as the Islamic economics and banking.
Thanks so much, all too soon. Our time is up. I'm so grateful, Mr. Abdullah Yakub, for this wonderful presentation. And I hope you, our cherished viewers, have really benefited a lot. If you have any comments further, send it to our Facebook page, Islam and the Law on Facebook. Send any comment you have regarding your issues. It can be domestic, it can be commercial, whatever. Send it, and then inshallah it will be addressed. This is a very interesting program that will be coming to you this and every Monday on NTV 5:30 p.m. And for those of you who are in businesses and you want to participate in this program, it's a wonderful program, and I think it can also go a long way to enrich your business. Come and let's work together. You can have partnership so that you can sponsor the program and to go further to elevate most of the difficulties we have with regards to the Ghana law and then the Sharia. Until we meet again, my name is Abdul Fatah Bawa. This will say, stay blessed, stay out of trouble. Assalamu alaikum.
Praise Allah for sending me you, my love. You found your home, it's here with me, and I'm here with you. Now let me let you know, you've opened my heart. I was always thinking that love was wrong, but everything was changed when you came along. Oh, and there's a couple of words I wanna say. For the rest of my life, I'll be with you. I'll stay by your side, honest and true, till the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life, through days and nights. thank Allah for opening my eyes. Now and forever, I'll be there for you. I know it deep in my heart. I feel so blessed when I think of you, and I ask Allah to bless all we do. You're my wife and my friend and my strength, and I pray we're together in Jannah. Oh, now I found myself, I feel so strong. Yes, everything was changed when you came along. Oh, and there's a couple words I wanna say. For the rest of my life, I'll be with you. I'll stay by your side, honest and true to the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life, through days and nights. I'll thank Allah for opening my eyes. Now and forever, I'll be there for you. I know it deep in my heart. And now that you're here in front of me, I strongly feel love. And I have no doubt, and I sing it loud, that I will love you eternally.
I'm Ibrahim Mohammed, CEO of Music Man. We are solution sellers in musical instruments and accessories. Anytime I close from work or I'm at home, I tune into Guidance TV because I enjoy their educative programs, family programs, programs for the kids, especially Islamic jurisprudence, preaching, and the tafsir. And I would like you guys to join us and watch Guidance TV. Guidance TV, the light in your life.
Guidance TV, the light in your life.
Al'umman Ghana, wannan tasha na Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwarku. Tasha ne da ke wasar da lamukan musulunci a cikin faɗin Ghana baki ɗaya. Shi yasa za ku iya turo tallace-tallacen hajojinku domin samun ingancin talla da sauki, sannan kuma za ku same shi a farashi mai rahusa. Shi yasa ku turo tallace-tallacen ku saboda taimakawa a musulunci. Za ku iya kiran wannan lamba da ke kan talabijin. Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanka.
So, and shining light into my
Al'umman Ghana, wannan tasha na Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwarku. Tasha ne da ke wasar da lamukan musulunci a cikin faɗin Ghana baki ɗaya. Shi yasa za ku iya turo tallace-tallacen hajojinku domin samun ingancin talla da sauki, sannan kuma za ku same shi a farashi mai rahusa. Shi yasa ku turo tallace-tallacen ku saboda taimakawa a musulunci. Za ku iya kiran wannan lamba da ke kan talabijin. Guidance TV, haske a cikin rayuwanka.
So, and shining light into my
deep in those eyes, can't you see him in disguise, reaching out to the heart that's in you and every tear that is where he is there. Every tear that is where deep in those eyes, Can't you see him in disguise, reaching out to the heart that's in you and I, and every tear that is wet